So this is the Bmw i3s, the latest version coming from BMW. Major changes. The wheels are now 20-inch. I think they're 135, 50 or 20. So big wheels, big tyres, a bit of expensive parts as well. Some other little bits of change as well. Some trim around the front has changed. Look, the two-tone was there already. Still has a glass rear end, some small changes there too. But some of the other changes that have happened has been the drivetrain and things underneath. And we're going to look at that in a minute. But let's start off looking at the practicalities. So I'm going to have a look at the boot. So the boot is where a 5-door hatchback earns its keep, so to speak. And this is no slouch in fairness to it. No electric tailgates or anything like that. It opens up nicely. It is a nice, big, useful space. It's square. It's tall. It works. Although, crucially, it doesn't have shopping bag hooks. Anyway, I can live with that. It has these elastic things that you can put stuff into. Not much use for shopping bags, but anyway. So I got me one of these things. It's by an Irish company called Stayhold. These are really good. Really good. You get a little kit of these things and they just kind of shove in. They got Velcro on the bottom. They stick to the carpet on the floor of a car. So you just go like that. You put anything you want behind it. You can pin things in and move stuff around. I got one of them. Thought they're really good. Again, an Irish company, stayhold.com if you really want them. I make no money from that. It's not a plug. It's just I use them in a couple of videos now and they work very, very well at holding camera kit in place. Okay, so removing the tonneau cover, you can actually put it under your baggage so it fits in the shape of the floor of the car. Also, on another little practical note, that the back seats, the headrest folds down, and right down the very bottom, it's a kind of an awkward place to put it, but it's there. There's a little strap and you can pull that, and you can drop the seats. They do go flatter than that. There's some child seats in there as well. They go basically flat, so you actually have a practical rear boot area similar to a van in the back seat here. Very good, really reasonably practical, except for the lack of shopping bag hooks. And I know that's such a small thing, but it's just a small thing along here and along here. A couple of bag hooks that you can put things on because the straps of bags stops them moving around and rolling around, particularly when it comes to shopping bags these days. We all bring our little cloth bags, not plastic bags anymore. Anyway, to the inside. So, the front seat. The handle is in a weird spot, by the way. It's up there at the top. Anyway, here we go on the front seat. This is probably one of the most beautiful interiors you've ever sat in. Honest to God, it is absolutely outstanding. I love the curve here. And then the practical sort of glove box. It's a deep box as well. This can be gotten in a sort of a wood finish, which is very nice. Looks really good in here. Very Northern European, or Volvo if you wish. There's only one USB port, which is in the middle down here, which isn't much use for an electric car, which will be able to charge everything. I have, the knobs are there. There's a volume control. There's a temperature control here as well. I have two very practical cup holders, capable of holding something that big, no problem at all. This is not an ad for ASICs, by the way, in any way, shape or form. Just that's the bottle I had this morning. And there's this elastic thing down here. You can just drop in a big, really big bottle, like a big 2-litre thing, massive yoke. I do kind of criticise this space here. It's a flat floor and it's kind of, well, you could have put another storage bin down there or something if you wanted. It's an empty space. It's just a place for a carpet with i3s on it right now. Anyway, it's neither here nor there. It's just a design thing. I have a very practical cubby hole here in the middle with a 12-volt socket and USB port inside it. Another little cubby hole up here for, well, something about the size of a phone. And then sitting in the actual cockpit here. So if I turn on the car for a second, which the start-stop is up here in this corner, it dings like that when you start it up because I'm not wearing a seatbelt, I think. There's lots of dings and stuff off it anyway. Off. Now, so I do have a practical knob here for temperature control. More on the powertrain system shortly. This is the BMW i system that's involved in this as well. So you can go in for menu here and you have all of the usual sort of menu stuff. You can actually see that my vehicle has been, vehicle status I think it's in. I don't know. It's in one of them. It's the problem. It's always a problem here in iDrive because iDrive is a really tricky thing to get used to. It's really hard to use. I find it not very intuitive. Anyway, 20.6 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers is what I'm doing at the moment. Average speed of 36 kilometers an hour. I've charged it a couple of times, but we get on to the charging thing in a minute. Anyway, with iDrive system, you can use it the way you normally use it. I don't see Apple CarPlay in this. I thought it was in all BMWs, but it's not working on this one for sure. When I plug in my phone, nothing happens. It's not asking me any questions. I have it Bluetooth on. There is a Bmw Spotify system built into it. So wirelessly it tells you to not use your phone anymore, and you can dismiss the whole thing. It's clunky though. It's clunky because it's not the Spotify interface. And again, we're back to that same point of that is not a touchscreen. And anyway, it's too far away to be a touchscreen. So it's that usual problem of things not working because they're not designed that way. Apple CarPlay, Google Android, Google Car, whatever it is, all design their stuff to run on a touchscreen. And when it's not a touchscreen, it doesn't work very well. I have a very beautiful thing here in front of me. This thing, which is really nice, the instrument Binnacle system, is really pleasant to look at, very clear in every condition. No matter how much glare comes into the cabin, you can still see that perfectly. The steering wheel itself is a 2-spoke one, so you get the spoke on either side, and nothing underneath and nothing on top. That's lovely, as design is lovely again. All the controls are here on this kind of a stalk to one side: drive, neutral, park, start, stop, the parking system, the flicking back and forward. It's all on the one stalk here at the top. There's nothing here. There's no other stalks around the place as well. Auto lights. There's a Harman Kardon stereo system, and this is very good. You will be very happy up the front. I don't have any criticism here whatsoever. It is one of the best interiors that you can buy in an electric car today. It is absolutely gorgeous in every respect. Now let's look at the back seats. Now you see, normally at this stage, I'm over here outside the car, I would hop in through the back door very easily, but in this car, not that straightforward. I have to open the side door to get myself in the back. So let's be serious. This is definitely a 4-seat car. There isn't room in the middle at all. There's 2 cup holders in the centre here. Commodious ones, big ones. There's nothing else happening back here. There's no rear USB ports. I do have handles here for moving the seats forward to give me better access into the back. I get it, BMW. I know why you had to do that, because the door here is tiny. So if I close this door, you can't find the handle, there it is. The front door is still open, so it's just annoying that is this is the best. Every time I say it's the best electric car right now with design, features, stand out. It looks gorgeous. It goes well. Everything works apart from that door. If this was an ordinary door that I could just close without having to worry about the front doors, this would be a world-beaten car, 100%. But design-wise, looks great. Looks deadly. Really nice. Nothing much back here, like I say. You will fit just about. You're going to hit the roof getting in and out here anyway, tall in the back seat. Kids love it. They don't have windows that open, by the way. None of this stuff here. This is all solid. It doesn't open, it doesn't do anything. It feels chunky, like I just closed the door on a tomb or something. It's beautiful. The seatbelt is in the same place as normal seatbelt here on one side, and they're blue. Look, blue. Very good, excellent. Except those doors. If you have kids who want to get themselves in and out of the car, or you have small kids with child seats or anything like that, I'm sorry, but it's really off the market for that. Right, let's have a look, see how she drives. If I can get out of the back seat and unfold myself a little bit. Look, just before I move on from the seating arrangement and things, these are the doors wide open, okay? Now look, I can move this seat around inside of here to get better access to get into the back seat. The problem is I still can't close the front door or leave the front door in any sort of way that I can let the kids in the back and then close the front door for them. If I have two kids, they go both sides of the car. So one of them gets in the back, and if they come around this side, then I have to go and I can close the door, right? I can't. There's no other way. Like, you can do that and get them in that way if you want, but God, that'd be very impractical for what it is. BMW. I know you can't because there's a carbon fibre tub that goes along here. It's complicated because this is part of the structural integrity of the car, and I get it. But sooner or later you have to think about how the car is used by the general public. And I love this thing. I would seriously give this a 10 out of 10 if it wasn't for that. Anyway, on with driving it. Okay, so driving an electric car means a certain amount of change of mindset. Didn't go bong bong this time, which means I obviously put the seatbelt on first, which is good. So what I mean by change of mindset means that you kind of have to, how do I explain this? Lower your expectations of your distance. So I've done 176 kilometers in it since I got it, right? Which is not a lot for me. I've used a fast charger a couple of times because I wanted to see what it was like to use a fast charger. And the biggest bugbear I got from it was, last night I went down to charge it up so I could film it today without charging it. And I found that there was 2 Nissan Leafs there already charging. That was a pain because fast chargers can only charge one thing at a time fast. So if you're in a Nissan Leaf, you can get a charge from the fast charger, but when I pull up in my i3 using the different plug, it can't charge me and you at the same time fast. It's not a deal breaker at the moment, but as we get more and more electric cars on the market, it is going to be a deal breaker. It is going to be a massive problem. Now, the car companies will tell you that you should be charging all the time at home, right? Well, at the moment, electricity is free on the street, so why would I charge at home exactly when I can get it for free? I met a taxi driver here in Portlaoise, drives a Nissan Leaf. He charges 4 or 5 times a day at the fast charger. You meet that guy, you're in for a bit of a bad time because you're going to end up being stuck there waiting for him to finish his charge so you can charge next. All these infrastructure problems cannot distract from just how good this car is. This is a triumph of design. So I don't normally watch the other people's reviews of cars, but I actually watched Johnny Smith doing a fully charged version. He put it against a Mini or something. Positively, he was wrong in the ride quality of the car. The ride quality is quite harsh here and there, because of those 20-inch alloys on the outside and the sportiness of the car. It does give it a sharper steer, but really, when you're going over the odd speed bump here and there, it's like, oh no, here we go. Now, I'm being tailgated at the moment, I'm afraid. There's an Audi behind me, doesn't know he's on film tailgating me, but he is tailgating me. I wish people wouldn't do that. It's very annoying. It really is aggravating when you're driving on the road. Not because I'm filming, just because, you're not going to make me go any faster. Other factors. So I have some settings I can change here. I have Sport, which makes the car sit up and pay attention like a puppy dog and want to murder you at every available opportunity because it just chews up the road like nothing else. Acceleration-wise, like when I go into Sport here, Comfort, Sport. When I go into Sport and I go, Jesus, it just puts all of that power down all the time. It's just an amazing... If you want to get off the line from a traffic light, forget about your V8s. Forget about it. You need an electric car. There's 100% torque from the moment you push down the pedal. And in sport mode, it sorts through all of the traction issues and everything else. It figures out what kind of road surface you're on and does it all in the blink of an eye. Even with those kind of lower resistance tyres electric cars come with. Speaking of tyres, like I said earlier, check the price of the tyres in your local area for you to be buying this car. Because tyres, often these cars, all of these cars, not just the BMW cars, a lot of these cars come with specific tyres for specific electrical needs. So bear that in mind. Okay, other modes, I have comfort. Now, BMW have decided that it's going to default into comfort wherever you go. So as soon as you start driving the car, it defaults into comfort. That turns on the air conditioning, all of the air conditioning, and you can operate the heated seats and you can do all that sort of stuff, okay? If I go to Eco Pro, Now that's e-drive mode, so that keeps the not air condition, but keeps the heater running. I can use the heated seats, but it reduces the power, and I'm limited to 130 kilometers an hour, right? Like 130, 120 is the fastest you can go in the country. So that doesn't do a whole lot. It'll get you extra mileage, but not a whole lot. So the last mode is Eco Pro Plus. Now Eco Pro Plus turns off everything, so you don't have any heating system ability. You can't turn on the heated seats, nothing. It's all disabled for you. It's to maximise your range, and it'll probably get an extra 30-40 kilometres out of it should you absolutely positively have no other options left. Now, a lot of you will be thinking at this point, well, you know what? Next year there's a new Nissan Leaf out, and that's going to have extra range. It's actually got a bigger battery. This can come with a bigger battery as well as of next year, as far as I know. Not the S mode. The S1 is the sport one. The ordinary one is going to come with a bigger battery. The Golf, e-Golf, is now coming with an extra bigger battery as well. There's a better supply on that. You're able to buy it. You know, there's a lot of electric cars coming to the market. If you're into the design, if you're into the fashionable end, this is where it's at. I'm telling you, the design in here is amazing to sit and look at. It doesn't feel like a car, it feels like a transport system. And although you might think that that's kind of out there, I'm serious. It feels like they've really thought about an awful lot to do with how electric cars are going to be used or are being used at the moment. So thank you very much for watching this video. Hopefully I've earned your subscription. You can join me every Sunday on the Sunday service, which is a 2-hour live broadcast right here on the channel. So hit the subscribe button and make sure you click the bell one so you know when I go live. You can also join us live, really live, actually meet me at the Sunday service meetup, which will happen probably once a month or so. If things go well next week, we have the live one on the 2nd of December. And then we'll try and do one again in January after the January blues kick in. We'll have another meetup. So you could come along to that if you're in Ireland. I'm sure you could manage to do that. But at the very least, hit the subscribe button here and follow along on our Facebook page, which is the Sunday Service Community over on Facebook. Lots of little links and tags at the end of the show, unfortunately. But hopefully you will check out the links down below, because everything's linked down there. There's links in the description to everything. And we have t-shirts on Teespring as well if you want to do that. That's also a link down below, or it's on some sort of a shopping shelf. But until the next time, I will see you on the far side.